Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a Walking Dead Q&A video for today. The first couple topics for this one are a few things from the trailer, of course, from last Friday. Number one is the armbands, and then number two is Carol looking at the flower, or looking at the flowers. So I had a few of you guys message me, just want to hear my thoughts on both of these. The first one is from Tracy T, and Tracy says, do you think the armbands that all these survivors seem to be wearing are just there to indicate which community people are from? As far as I can tell, white equals Alexandria, red or orangish equals the kingdom, and I think green for the hilltop. Or does it signify like what role they would be playing, i.e. sniper, firing squad, etc.? I think the guy cutting the ropes in the checkered or checked shirt is the dude that shot Benjamin, because you see him in another scene. I think with Gregory, and the shirt looks totally the same. Really hope he dies. Yeah, she's talking about Jared, right? Not Jerry, Jared, right? So he's the one who kind of looks like a rat, and he's got the hair and stuff. Yeah, so he's a good setup, I think, for this season for a villain that we want to see, them get revenge on for the things that were happening in season 7 for sure. Also, it was more of a first reaction, and I really doubt it now, but when the garbage people are in the circle and someone is standing in the middle, my first thought was it's Eugene, and thinking that she can see them all there. So cheers and thanks for all the videos, mate. They're the best by far. So I can't tell who it is in the garbage, junkyard at that point. Like I said in my breakdown video, I think it looks most like Michonne, maybe, for one of them, but I can't tell. You might be right. Eugene wears black, and maybe it's a mullet. I don't know. I just can't tell. Now, people, as far as the person who's in the junkyard container, everybody agrees pretty much right now, from what I've seen in comments over the past week, that it's Rick. Like, it looks a lot like Rick. Everybody thinks it's Rick. So it sounds like it probably is Rick. So that's going to be cool to see Rick get captured by Jadis and the Junkyard Group, and just to see what happens with that. I'm thinking that would probably be after the premiere. That would probably be in like episode 2 or 3, something like that. But as far as the armbands thing, yeah, I like your description of it. That and I've heard other people say this in the comments as well too, that you could look at it as like a color coding system to what community they're from, because not everybody on the greater survivors will know each other, and I think that makes sense. That they wouldn't, know who they're from, and they wouldn't know if they're seeing somebody who's a savior or seeing somebody who's a part of the greater survivors group, because there's just so many members now in different communities and everything. So that makes a lot of sense that they would color code themselves. So we'll see. We'll see if there's significance to it. You could be right that it could be a color coding system, or like you said, maybe it's what kind of position they're in on the survivor side. I would tend to think more community. I like the community idea better though, because they wouldn't know each other necessarily between communities, and whatever role they all are, I think they're going to have to be maladaptive to be able to do different things. Daryl's going to be on the bike, and he's going to be leading the zombie herd, but then at a time, if he has to join the fray and start shooting, the crossbow or guns and what have you, he's going to too. I don't think they would be kind of restricted to a job or a role in this kind of thing, because it's going to get chaotic, it's going to get crazy, and I'm pretty excited. As far as the overpass with Carol, and that is true that there was a flower spray painted, is that what it is, like spray paint beside her that she's kind of looking at. So for that one, I didn't mention in my breakdown, really mention in my review, because I was more focusing on driving home the point of the trailer that I'm sure a lot of regular viewers wouldn't have noticed, which is that Daryl is blowing these things up to lead the zombie herd in towards the sanctuary, and to press them down. So that's kind of why I didn't really get into that kind of thing as well. But yeah, no, you're right. It looks like maybe it's just kind of a callback to earlier seasons with Lizzie and Meek and that. Is it possible that Carol could be killed this season because she's looking at the flower? I don't know. Are they going to kill Carol off? I kind of doubt it this season, to be honest with you. I mean, I think they've got a few more seasons left with Carol. I think it depends what Melissa McBride wants to do. But, it's such a big show. Like, why would anybody really want out of the show at this point? Are they going to have to kill somebody else off because they don't want to do the show anymore? I kind of doubt it. I'm sure they all get paid pretty good, and I'm sure, they're recognizable. If you look at Melissa McBride before, you know, The Walking Dead, she could be walking down the street probably in LA and no one would probably stop her and ask for an autograph. They wouldn't have any idea who she was. But after The Walking Dead now, you know, she's going to be huge, so she probably can't go anywhere without people being like, Walking Dead, right? So, flowers, you know. So, yeah, I don't think they'd kill Carol off right now, even though it is kind of cool. And yeah, that is what she told Lizzie to do. But I think it's just kind of Easter egg. You want to call it an Easter egg? Yeah, I like an Easter egg. You know, they do put quite a few Easter eggs in The Walking Dead. It's always nice to see, and so that's one. So I might do a things you missed video and kind of go over the trailer and just pick out some things, because I do that. I usually do that each year, and I haven't done one yet this year. So I might do that. If you guys want to see that, you can write any little Easter eggs in the trailer below, and I'll compile everything, go through it a few times, and grab a few, and maybe make a video of that. But yeah. So we'll continue along. You guys keep sending me those questions as usual. Enderman with a lowercase e says, Trev, how long do you think episode 100 will be? Do you think it could be an extended episode, which would be like 90 minutes? He says he's hoping for, you know, a 90-minute premiere for The Walking Dead season 8. So episode 100, you know, I think 90 minutes makes sense. Give us a special 90 minutes. But, you know, one thing with season 7, I think season 7 showed us for, you know, just the reaction, the response that a lot of fans had for The Walking Dead. You don't necessarily have to make every episode 90 minutes. Sometimes it might backfire a bit if you include a lot of sequences that people don't really care for. You know, if you have a lot of scenes that maybe should be cut or should be shortened and crammed in a little bit more, you know, sometimes people may not like to have all those 90-minute episodes if they feel like there's a lot of stuff in them that they didn't really need to see or really care to see. Personally, I like to get as much Walking Dead content as we can. If we're going to get a few 90-minute episodes, I'm even more excited for that. But I know a lot of people aren't necessarily like that. They may, you know, want a shorter. But I hope to see a 90-minute premiere for episode 100. I think that would be great. But even if they don't do it, as long as they cover enough ground and it's, you know, it's got the right pacing, it's fast-paced and it's exciting, then that's really all they need to do. But, you know, character development, that kind of stuff in the premiere, it's just, you know, it's the 100th episode. It should be a spectacle type episode. I don't really think we need to see that too much. So, you know, fingers crossed, hoping they deliver on episode 100 and hoping it's 90 minutes, but hoping that it has a pretty good pace, because it's a pretty monumental episode for The Walking Dead. And it's also important, especially after season 7, I think, kind of dipping a little bit in terms of interest and ratings and everything for people. I think it's very important that they really bring it in season 8 and get people back on board with The Walking Dead, get people enjoying it again. SW and Laser 3 says, hey Trev, I was wondering if you think the quality, he says if you think quantity is better than quality. And he has some other things there. I kind of shortened it for that with regards to producing videos in the channel. So have a good day, Trev. Hope he says you probably won't see this comment, but I did. Yeah, so with regards to the videos and the way I make it, you know, yesterday's video being over 3,000 videos and everything of the sort. You know, I do both. Like you know, the video I did, the Rick one about Rick not surviving to the end of The Walking Dead, I did that a couple days ago. You know, that video took 4 to 5 hours to do all the editing for that and everything like that. The breakdown video took 4 to 5 hours. You know, the videos I did in the weekend, review for Game of Thrones and predictions, that's like 3 to 4 hours right there. You know, I do put a lot of effort and a lot of time into producing the videos for you guys. Right now, neither one would matter because YouTube is just not doing well right now for just about anybody. But I had a realization that as long as I don't stop producing, regardless of what happens, then the channel will go forward. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, the channel will move on. If I don't focus on results and I just basically produce for you guys all the time and just, you know, work on it pretty much every day, the channel will be alive. The channel will survive one way or another. Whatever it does, who cares? As long as you know, I'm producing, then it should be fine. So I hit it with both. You know, I hit it with you know, I try to make a lot of videos for you guys. Last week I think I did like 15, and I worked 40 hours, so that was like a 65 hour week last week. You know, I put it in, right? You know, this is what it is. I mean, all you can do is the best you can do. Is working less on it better for the channel? You know, with the channel having not been doing so good the last couple of months, as I did a video letting you guys know about that too. No, slacking it and not producing is not a good thing either. That's how you do kill a channel. You know, that's how you do. I've seen a lot of people come and go over the last, you know, 8 years on YouTube, and some people I was fans of 4 or 5 years ago, their channels, they don't make videos anymore. They're done. And they weren't done because they weren't getting enough views or subscribers or what have you. They were done because the person running it decided not to keep producing. That's why they died. They died because of that. And so that's not going to happen to me. Kicking and screaming, whatever happens with the channel, I'm going to keep producing for you guys. If people unsubscribe, if they don't like it, okay, you know, I'm sorry that you don't like it, whatever. But I'm doing the best I can for you guys, and I'm going to continue to do so. So I hope that answers your question. You know, I kind of go for both quantity and quality. I work on it every day. I try to produce every day. That's the idea. And yes, sometimes I do a video that might take 80 hours or 40 hours, like my trailer for season 7, or the Every Death in the Walking Dead video that took like a week to make. Sometimes I do that too. It depends on the video, and I do what is necessary for the video to, you know, to produce it properly and do it the right way for you guys, and that's what I do. Squidly TV says, is he talking about the TV show or the comic with regards to the death for Rick? And I just think it's kind of a funny question, because whatever happens in the comics eventually is going to happen in the show. So it's not like Robert Kirkman can say, Rick's not going to survive to the end, and he's just talking about the comics, but Andrew Lincoln will always be there as Rick in the TV series. No, he's talking about both. He's talking about the comics and then eventually being adapted for the TV series. He's talking about both, you know. I can't see any form of reality where he kills Rick off in the comics and it's a monumentally huge event, and then the TV series he just survives onward past that and is never killed off. I don't see that at all. I really, no, that's not going to happen. And last one will be from Great Till Death. He says, old man Rick looks much older than the New Beginning Rick. Do you think they are skipping further ahead in time, or maybe this is a dream or hallucination? Love your channel, brother. Keep up the awesome work. So, gave my thoughts on this, you know, earlier this week. Did the explain video for that and all that kind of stuff on Friday. So yeah, with regards to how Rick looks, it's a little bit silly, like I said, you know, I think it's kind of funny. But my interpretation is not a dream or hallucination. It's that it's out of chronological order, probably. It's an actual sequence. We're going to see it, and I just think it looks kind of silly, a little bit more so than the comics. And I agree with you that Old Man Rick in the TV series after the time skip looks older than the comic series version did. And it'll also be interesting to see when they do that, all the different designs for all the different characters. I want to see what Daryl looks like. I mean, was he going to have hair down like his chest or something, like freaking sweet long hair, you know, like rocker hair or something, and just everybody, what they're all going to look like, because it's going to be cool. Anyway, that'll be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please thumb it up below. Please like it. I want to thank all you guys for the support, for, you know, liking the videos, sharing the videos, favoriting the videos, sending through the questions. Everybody on Patreon, thank you guys so much for the support. Patreon link will be in the description if you guys want to tip $1, whatever. It's up to you. You don't have to. If you want to, you can. But you guys, just thank you so much for all the support, and we're going to keep right on going forward. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.
You better subscribe.